Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from Hanna Karlzon's Seasons book. We are going to do this cute little box of gems today. We'll start with the gems and then work on the box afterwards. I want sort of three colours really for the gemstones. I'll show you what I'm using. I'm just trying to find them, bear with me. I'm going to use these three shades. So this is deep cobalt green, this is phthalo green, and this is light phthalo green. So we've got three colours for each of our gemstones. And what I'm going to do is just start with the dark. This is the dark cobalt green, cobalt green, and do some parts. So I'm going to choose some bits of the gemstones that I think might be really dark, like this side here. And I'm thinking that actually the bits that overlap, that will be shadowed, and the bits that are sort of lower down, pointing downwards where they wouldn't catch the light so much, and I'm going to fade them all upwards. Okay. Like that, and this one. I don't think I'm going to do any of the pointy tip bits in this dark colour because I'm not sure that they would be that dark. Maybe this one. It's a bit of a random choice, slightly. It's a pretty box, isn't it? It'd be nice to have a nice box of gemstones. They look quite quartzy, don't they? I think. Which I like, quite like quartz. Don't have gemstones. I know some people believe they have healing properties and things like that. It's not something that I have really looked into very much. These two are close. I'm going to make that really quite dark. No, it's not something that I'm into, but I do think they're pretty. There we go. Now I'm going to use my phthalo green to do quite a lot more. So probably most of the lower ones with this, and then maybe some of the higher ones as well, like there. And it's all the same technique, so basically quite a dark, intense application near the bottom and then just fading it up to the top. It is a technique I learnt from a Helen Elliston book. Her books are fabulous. I was looking at one of them the other day with snow in it, which was interesting and useful, quite seasonal. My husband was also watching a TV programme about painting snow, which was quite interesting. Obviously quite a different thing, painting rather than using a pencil, but still using blues and greys for sort of shadows, and sort of talking about how snow is so light, some of the white parts of snow can be the very brightest part of your picture, sort of thing, which I thought was very true. Of course, when you're painting, you can, if you're doing oils, for example, you can do a coloured background and then pop your snow on top so you can still see through it. And I sometimes do that using my white pen for the snow. It's quite fun. I'm not really telling you what I'm doing because it's all the same really. And my choices are just areas I think should be slightly lighter. My last is the light phthalo green. You could mix your colours up a bit. So here, if you want it darker, you could do a lighter bit nearer the top, things like that. I just decided to use one colour for each box. or area, but you can mix them up a bit if you want to. But I'm sort of hoping it looks like there are different colours because we're looking at it from different angles. Whether that works really well or not, I don't know. Now I'm not going to, I would like to put some white on those to make them look more sparkly. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do the box first, or else I'm going to smudge my white. I do have these circles to do. I'm going to do those in the phthalo green. Similar to when I did the candle, I want a sort of mid colour that shows up. I'm not sure the light one would show up, and I just think it sort of I don't know what they are. I'm thinking, are they magic? Are they just showing us some magic? Now, for the box, I thought that I might do it wooden and brown, but the patterning around I would do in a green to match our gemstones. So I'm going to grab the dark phthalo green, if I can find it. I don't think that's it. Bear with me. There it is, the dark phthalo green to do this bit. And I'm going to do these loopy bits, just dark at the top and light at the bottom, like that. So put more layers at the top and just do the same all the way around, really straightforward. Now if you don't want a wooden box, you can choose to do a different colour, like it might be silky fabric, particularly the inside of the lid. You might think maybe it's not wood, but I like colouring wood, so that's why I've decided to do wood, and I think it will match with the greens. So another reasoning. Now I'm thinking I'm going to do this green on the rim of the box as well. Just so it looks like it's maybe been painted or something. Can do it quite dark here, sort of, and on this corner, I'm just going to draw that in a bit, like that, and this corner, and then fade it a bit, so the corners are dark, but the centre is a bit lighter, so it looks a bit shiny and more interesting. There we go. And the same on this one. So dark on the corner, a bit less towards the middle. Now this one's interesting because it's got a marking there, but we can't see it on the lid, on the upper bit, but that's okay. We'll just colour it as it's drawn. I am improvising those bits in a bit just to make it work. Now these I'm going to make slightly lighter as I go down if I can. It's a little bit of a small space. Those I'm just going to block in, I think. You can always use a white pen to help us after. There we go. Ooh, we've got a dot there we haven't filled in. I'm just going to do that now. There we go. Now we need our wood. Now I'm thinking a slightly, ooh, that's the bag under my desk, a slightly greyer colour might work better. So I'm going to go with this nougat colour. I think it just might match the green better. I'm just going to start by putting a layer down. Now you want to colour with an up and down movement so it follows the lines that are drawn on the box already. That's how I feel about it anyway. And I'm just going to do the whole of this in a similar way. These little bits were slightly fiddly. Get there, and around the keyhole. Don't do the keyhole in this colour. I think it might be metallic, maybe silver. Silver's easier for me to colour than gold, so I might choose that, especially for a smaller area. It's getting close to lunchtime. My stomach feels like it wants to growl really loudly. I feel like I'm colouring fast because I'm hungry. Right. Sorry, I just stopped the video and went to grab a cardigan. It's feeling a bit chilly. I'm just going to sharpen my pencil too and show you what I was going to do with these lines on the box. I thought if we make it a little bit darker, the nougat we're still using, each side of the line all the way through, we might make it look like it's slightly dented in, as if we've got little panels of wood making up our box. Don't have to do this, you can just leave it plain if you'd rather not do this extra little bit. Gosh, it feels like such a long time since Christmas, and it really isn't. I do like Christmas, I sort of miss it. I prefer it as a holiday, it's my favourite one. You know, in the summer the children have a really long holiday, and although it's so lovely to have them home for a long time, I don't know, there's just a lot of fun and joy in Christmas. Seeing family, gifting, that sort of thing. I'm receiving nice gifts, of course, too. I think I'm not going to do that side, only the front one, to try and emphasise the corner somehow. And yeah, I like all the Christmas lights as well. And I haven't been out Christmas tree spotting or anything, and everyone will be taking theirs down. I mean, when this video goes out, it'll be way past 12th night, which is traditionally when people take them down. Although I was reading about it online, and it said that if you don't take your decorations down on 12th night, I'm just going to do a light layer up here, is bad luck unless you leave them up until, is it the 2nd of February? There's some sort of religious day. I'm going to do a line across here, just quite simple. And now inside the box I think will be a bit darker, so I'm going to just layer up a little bit more to make it look darker inside where there will be shadow. Or it said you just have to keep them up till next year, which is slightly tempting, I have to say. Now watch out here, because that is the top, so that gap there is this gap behind. And obviously there'd be some hinging somewhere in there, but we don't have to worry about that because we can't see it. Now I'm going to colour this inside of the lid now, just with a fairly even colour. Now don't worry if you can't colour evenly. Again, it's something you just have to learn with practice. You have to put the same amount of pressure on the pencil all the time as you colour to get it, and then not overlap it too much, and it just takes time to learn. Now I've been colouring since 2013, and I colour nearly every day. There was a day over Christmas I didn't colour, but yeah, nearly every day, and some days all day. I love it. But that sort of practice, you know, that amount of hours of practice is why I can do this reasonably successfully. Still not perfectly, look at that, but that's why I can do it. And so if you can't do it as well, then don't worry about it. It just takes time, and if you can do it better than me, then well, good for you. Now I'm thinking this bit might be a bit darker, a bit shadowy, so I'm just going to add another layer. Now if you want the colour to look significantly darker, use a sharper pencil. I'm also going to make this one darker. I think it would be less dark as we go up. So that's what I'm going to do, but I still want it to be darker than that. There we go. Now I'm thinking about this edge here. Again, I think it'll be darker at the bottom, so I'm going to layer it up and just sort of fade that up the side. And I think we need to do the same with this inside bit, but I don't want it to be as dark as this, so I'm trying carefully to not do that. It's not easy, doing my best. Keeping it chilled, having fun. I mean, obviously when we do produce art that makes us happy and that we like, then it can make it more fun. But remember, it can be about the process as well. You know, it's a bit of a cliche. It's about the process, about the journey, but it should be. There we go. I'm just going to leave it like that. Now you could think about the shadows of the crystals on the lid. Not me. I'm going to leave it. I am going to grab my white Posca pen and do some work. Oh no, the lock. I haven't done the lock. Okay. Now for the inside part of this log, I think it should be dark, but I don't want it black. I've grabbed my Paynes grey. I'm going to fill that in with Paynes grey, so it's not black, but it's just dark and shadowy in there. Okay, and then for the outside, I'm still going to stick with my Paynes grey. I'm going to look at these markings and put some dark there and there, and then just mark a bit of dark here and there like that, so it looks shiny. I don't know how well you can see that, but I've just made some marks. Oh, I really don't like it when artists say it was just mark making. When people who, this is my PC1MR white Posca, I remember saying to someone, oh, your drawing is so good. I said, oh no, it's just mark making, anyone can do it. No. No, I can't do it. I'm going to put some random lines and just take out some of these a little bit. I want them still to show, I just don't want them to be as black. So I'm just sort of putting some light application of white over them. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just trying not to hit all the lines exactly. Just putting some white around. Yeah, it made me cross. It's like, it might be just mark making to you, but to someone who can't draw like me, I mean, yes, it sounds very negative, but I'm just being realistic. Saying it's just mark making, no, it's not. I mean, I can do certain things, but you know, she just got down and drew a teapot, a teacup and a cake. Off you go. So, no. But anyway, we're all good at different things, and I don't mind that I can't do it. We can't all do everything. I hope you can see that this is hopefully looking a little bit more shiny and crystally by just getting rid of those really dark lines. And I don't want to get rid of all the lines, because it helps to give it some shape and for us to see what's going on. If we fade them a bit, you can, if you don't have a pen, don't despair, you can use a pencil. Now Polychromos whites aren't brilliant, but they can work. I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you how to use a pencil. So grab your white pencil, very as sharp as you can get, and just put it over here. Look. Can you see it's faded it a bit? It's not as good as a pen, but it has faded it a little bit. But if you use a better pencil, this is a Prismacolor white. It works much better. Oops, for fading it. There you go. I don't know how much difference you can see. I can see a huge difference. Right, let's just put those away. I'm going to carry on with my pen because it's going to look a little bit odd if I don't. But it still fades it a little bit. My pen doesn't want to work now. It feels betrayed because I've gone to pencil. Because obviously pens have feelings. In fact, I do know people who say I haven't used X pencils for a while. X brand, they're going to be cross with me. it's hard when you've got lots of brands, using them all, but I try to. Certain brands work better for certain things, paper as well, but Hanna's paper is nice for all brands. Okay, am I going to do any more or leave it at that? Now, what you could do, and I have done this before, but I'm not going to do it today, but I'm just going to tell you, is you could cover your crystals with stickles to make them really shiny. These are diamond stickles. Or you could use a Gellyroll shiny pen. This one is just like glitter glue. There's no colour in that gel. It's just glue. So you could use that and really make them sparkle. I'm just going to leave them. I quite like how they are. So I'm going to leave them as they are. So that is my box of crystals. We have got just one more left, which is our bird. I'm hoping to record that after lunch. I'm getting hungry now. And record that for you then. And we'll have a whole series done, and a whole page done, which has been a lot of fun. But I've got no idea what colour I'm going to do the bird or the whatever it is it's standing on. So I need to give that some thought while I'm eating my toast. So I might see you later. But anyway, it'll be tomorrow, not later today. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.